Hey everyone, this is Akhil from Installnaut, and today we're going to compare the Oppo F11 Pro with the Vivo V15 Pro smartphone. Both these smartphones are the flagship smartphones from their respective brands, and let's see how they hold up against each other. Talking about the build quality of both these devices feel exactly similar as they are made from similar feeling polycarbonate material and there is no glass on the backside. Talking about the display of both the devices feature full view display, and as you can see, there's no notch or no bezel on the screen, and both the devices feature a face unlock capability, and the front camera pops up to recognize your face to unlock the device. And now comparing the display of both the devices, the Oppo F11 Pro features a 6.5 inches IPS LCD display. It's a full HD display with 84.1% screen to body ratio. On the other hand, Vivo features a 6.39 inches Super AMOLED display and it has a 85% screen to body ratio. But honestly, we prefer the display of the Vivo V15 Pro as it's an AMOLED panel, it produces vibrant colors and has better viewing angles. And also it has always on display, works well on the AMOLED displays than the LCD panels. Both the devices offer seamless software experience, and that's all thanks to the 6 GB of RAM on both the devices. The Oppo F11 Pro comes with 64 GB of internal storage, and there's a 120 GB internal storage variant as well. On the other hand, the Vivo V15 Pro comes with 120 GB of internal storage only. And now comparing the software of both the devices, the Oppo F11 Pro features a ColorOS 6.0, that's the latest iteration of the ColorOS, and the Vivo V15 Pro features the FunTouchOS 9.0. And both these skins are based on Android 9.0 and offers seamless experience and all the latest spy features along with latest security patches. Comparing the specifications of both the device, the Oppo F11 Pro is powered by a MediaTek Helio P70 processor. It's built on 12nm process. It's an octa-core processor with 4 cores are clocked at 2.1 GHz and another 4 are clocked at 2 GHz. And it's also accompanied by Mali G72 MP3 GPU as well. On the other hand, the Vivo V15 Pro is powered by an Qualcomm Snapdragon 675 processor, which is built on 11nm process. It's an octa-core processor with 2 cores are clocked at 2 GHz and another 6 are clocked at 1.7 GHz. And along with this, and it's supported by an Adreno 612 GPU as well. Also, we ran a few benchmarking apps on both the devices. The Oppo F11 Pro features 1,48,000 on the ANTU2, and on another hand, the Vivo V15 Pro features somewhere around 1,80,000. So that's the difference between the Helio P70 processor and Snapdragon 675 processor, and that's quite evident when you try high intensive games like PUBG. We also ran Geekbench to test both the devices, and as you can see, the Vivo V15 Pro wins again in the single core performance, while the multi-core performance is almost similar. Now the key highlight of both the devices lies in the camera department. The Oppo F11 Pro features a dual rear camera setup, while the Vivo V15 Pro features a triple rear camera setup. And on the front, both the devices feature a pop-up selfie camera mechanism. Talking about the Oppo F11 Pro, it features a 48 MP rear camera with f1.8 aperture and 0.8 micron pixel size. It features face detection autofocus as well. And there is a secondary 5 MP camera with f2.4 aperture, and it's a depth sensor to capture perfect bokeh shots. There's LED light as well, and it can record 1080p videos at 30 frames per second. On the other hand, the Vivo V15 Pro features a 48 MP primary camera with f1.8 aperture and face detection autofocus as well. And there's also an 8 MP ultra wide sensor which has a focal length of 13mm. And along with this, there is a third camera as well. That's a 5 MP depth sensor with f2.4 aperture. There's LED flash as well, and the camera is capable of capturing 2K videos at 30 frames per second as well as 1080p videos at 30 frames per second. Talking about the front camera, the Oppo F11 Pro features a motorized pop-up 16 MP camera with f2.0 aperture and wide microns pixel size, and it can shoot videos, 1080p videos at 30 frames per second. On the other hand, the Vivo V15 Pro features a motorized pop-up 32 MP camera, and it can also record 1080p videos at 30 frames per second. The Oppo F11 Pro and the Vivo V15 Pro are similar designed phones that offer similar features, and they offer a full view display at the front, a pop-up selfie camera, and a modern array of rear cameras. Both the devices look almost identical to each other, but the only difference being the form of biometrics that both the devices offer. The Oppo F11 Pro features an rear-mounted fingerprint sensor. It's a circular fingerprint sensor placed just below the camera module, and it works pretty well and it's fast and it's secure. But on the other hand, the Vivo V15 Pro, which almost similar price to the Oppo F11 Pro, features an in-display fingerprint sensor. This is the fifth generation of in-display fingerprint sensor, and it might not be as fast as a rear-mounted fingerprint sensor or the Oppo F11 Pro, but it looks modern. And in this scenario, Vivo takes the lead by offering the modern and futuristic in-display fingerprint sensor, while on the other hand, if Oppo can offer the in-display fingerprint sensor in the Oppo K1 at a budget price, so why not in the Oppo F11 Pro? So to sum up, both the devices are built similarly, with similar specifications, similar features, and are also priced similarly. But to conclude, the Vivo V15 Pro offers better performance with Snapdragon 675 processor as compared to the Helio P70 processor, and that's quite evident on the benchmark scores as well. And comparing the cameras, Vivo's camera is slightly better with the advantage of the wide angle lens, but the dual rear camera setup on the Oppo F11 Pro is not bad at all, and the in-display fingerprint sensor on Vivo is much modern, but it's not fast, and most of the times it doesn't work well, while on the Oppo F11 Pro the traditional rear mounted fingerprint sensor works flawlessly all the time. The choice is yours. If you want a modern device with a great display and great camera setup, go for Vivo V15 Pro. But if you want to stick with the rear mounted fingerprint sensor and the performance is not priority for you, then you can go for the Oppo F11 Pro.